Okay guys, I'm away on holiday after Traders Day Live, but I've been watching the guys in the squad. I do that when I'm on holiday. Even though I'm away, I still try and help. Now, if I flick this over, you can kind of see, well, you can see I'm away. And what did I find? Good old British telephone box. But if I go in Bulls and Bears, which is here, they're talking about the DAX doing the homework, etc. But what I picked up on was Alec. So it's a little salute to you, kid. It was really good to meet you at the Scruff Live event. It really was. I'll touch on that in a minute. And what he's looking at is various elements. But further up, where is it? That is there. That's the bit that caught my eye. 10-Pip Scalp, going long, hit target but didn't take out. Now I'm going to touch on that, so let's get that through. Now I'm looking at the DAX at the moment. Yes, it's 1:20, just come back from having lunch, and it's telling me to sell it. It's been like that for a little while. In fact, it was like that earlier on because I was actually in the market earlier on. And I took some money out of it, or at least I will do when this wakes up. There it is. You have to bear with me. The internet here is terrible. So if I pull that sheet back up, it's telling me it sells across the low time frame and the dominant diet frame, but it is a D trade. It means it's really risky, and there's for all it's selling, there's elements that tell you to stay out of it. It's poor. But if I was going to go for it, there's an 11 pip target on the cards. All right. But how else can I look at this? Well, there's another element that I'm going to plug into this right now. I'm just going to do it now. It's called red light, green light. And it's actually built into this as well. So if I drop that onto there, and that comes on, it's actually going to fire up, and it's telling me to go for it now. All right, so it's telling me to sell it, red light, green light situation. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to count the candles back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underneath this candle here. So we're going to drop a sell order in under the current candles, and we're going to take it for 11 pips. Kabash. Right, so that's my order in. Now, I've already done my homework, guys. I already know exactly what it is that I'm looking for. And as you can see, there's not a lot going on this particular chart. But let me show you a couple of things. So the first thing I would do is I would look at the market structure on a key chart. Now, that could be anything. For me, the hourly is as good as any. What can I see straight away? Well, there is a fib, base to base. Right, what's the next thing? Well, I know the rules of the fib. The rules of the fib, it'll go to 50% if it can, but it'll definitely go long once it's broke the 23 to the 38. So there's your 23, but it has failed the 38 and is coming back. Right, okay. Well, if that's the case, that's a strong directional drive as well. So, again, go from there to there. And what's it going to run for? Well, there you go. There's your target area. Right there. Okay. So, in and around that area is the new target area, because this one has actually breached the 38, whereas that one failed. So there's a couple of areas of attraction for you to get in. So that target isn't out of the realms of possibility. The higher I can get this up, the better, and then pull it down into here. So let's get rid of that. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to mark out some danger zones. Okay. Right, so we're going to put one there. Duplicate that. I'm going to put the other one down there. Okay. Now, these are danger zones because we don't know what's happening. As long as it stays between that point and that point, I'm fine. But something's going to happen in and around these areas. So it's nice to have them marked out. Now, if I'm going long, I'm all the way up to this area. If I'm short, I'm only down to here. So therefore, I need pivot points and swing points to figure out where I'm wrong. Well, there's a swing and there's a pivot. So I can get that one worked out. Okay. So what else can we do? We can go +1, -1. Well, if I'm going +1, -1, it's an upward move with a strong directional push down. And not only is it strong directional push down, it's pushed up, it's failing on these levels and then coming back on itself. So again, if I'm going to put a fib in and do a bigger arc, top to bottom, again, it's coming out of a danger zone, what I've just been marking up, and it'll be working its way down, you guessed it, to 38, which is going to be the next area of attraction. This is all building charts and building worlds up. Again, this section here is bang on the 23 of the bigger move. Okay, so we've got loads of areas we can work with. Then you can go -1. This is down into the zone, right? We're going to follow green candles up and get it to slam down. Now at the moment, just because I want that on there, right, there we go. So I've got that order at a better place. So I'm happy with that. So this is all management and it's all based on something that I can see. Take it down into 5 minutes so that I can figure out where the triggers are. Well, there's my triggers. It's triggered in now. Okay, so what do I do? Right, I've got my point of attraction, got my direction because I can see it, and I'm not being greedy. And I'm not being greedy because I worked it out on the sheet, which we will quickly flash back. So I worked it out on this, so I know what general directions are. I know I can't day trade this thing, so I'm definitely in and out quick. And it's 11. But my green light, red light came into play. So when all of this fails, I would look at this, because this is a trade criteria, +1, -1, which we've just been looking at. It's not the best, so there's nothing there. But red light, green light came into play. Different scenarios. And then there it is. It's running down into target as we speak. And, oh, it nearly did it. It's right on. Now, this is the part where Alec was talking about. It got right down onto his target, but then it stopped and didn't trigger him. But that's because you've got to go through the spread. Now, this was just off the spread at that point. Now, one little slam, we could be good. In we go. Come on, in we go. Oh, now it's pulling away. Right, okay. So now I've got to think, right, what if I'm wrong? Where would I get out if I'm wrong? Well, you've got to swing here and you've got to swing there. I really would have liked this to have been done in minutes. If I'd left it on 10 pips, I'd have probably have been fine. But it's going to attack that next. So I'm happy to average into about here and then come back down on it myself. So what you'll see is a couple of extra orders going in. If they get triggered, amazing. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. So that's what we're going to do now. So first thing is I need to sort of figure out where I'm going to put them. Okay. This might actually pile out as we're speaking, to be honest. Let me drop that down onto 5 minutes so I can keep half an eye on this. Okay. Just move that up. I'll just put one in for now. Okay. Drop that onto there. Right, we're good. Oh, there we go. Didn't need to do it. It's just cashed out. So that's cashed out, 55 quid. I am more than happy. I am more than happy. So what I need to do is just make certain that I've got my tickets off. Just get rid of that for now. And there we go. So that was 55 quid in 15 minutes, give or take. And there it is there. It's smashed straight into it. Now, the beauty of this particular trade is it was simple. I read the chart, I mapped it out, and then looked for logical points where it can move from. Now, here is a potential stall point. And, well, there you are. You can see it's stalling now. It's stalled bang on it. So, therefore, I was right to pull it out at the time. These are elements that most traders kind of forget about. And that forgetting is the Achilles heel. That's what hurts them. Because, bear with me, I'm just trying to do 3 things at once here, guys. It's difficult. When you've got a laptop and I haven't got all my screens, it is difficult. So I'm trying to work out the camera over here. But to give an idea of what I'm talking about is, if you know where the pain points are, well, that's what you're trading into. If you know where the sort of, how do I put that? When I talk about pain points, there is actually 2. You've got a negative and a pleasurable. Because as you're coming into your target, you're coming into it from a positive or a negative expectation. So this one was a positive expectation down for about 11 pips. If it was going against me, and this is where a lot of people start shouting and bawling and going, you're a terrible person, you're going backwards. Yeah, of course I'm going backwards into the trade. If I go forward staging into a trade, the chances are I'll put an order at the top of the market. And that top of the market now becomes a pain point, where even though the market is going for me. So I have to sit and work it out. Now, if I go backwards, it means, yeah, I might have to sit in some heat, but that heat is reducing each time. If you're staging forwards, that heat is increasing each time. It's different, and it's a different way of looking at it. Now, most of what you see and listen to people, certainly when I see the young kids go, now we're flipping burgers, and now I've got a private plane. Okay, now give me a coffee, because we all know Scruffy needs a coffee. He needs one after watching some of them fucking idiots. They wouldn't know an RSI if it hit them in the arse. They really wouldn't. And when I'm sort of doing things like this, somebody asked me the other day, says, you don't lose a lot. You're right, I don't. I hold about a 90% win rate. And even when I lose, it's a sacrifice trade. So it's not really a losing trade, but there is something I do all the time. I can wait hours to go to market. Hours. Most of you can't. You're desperate to get into the market the moment you switch the screen on. You're desperately hunting around all the different aspects of, oh God, this is the one. This is the trade that I must have. But you've done no homework. So it's not the one you wanted to punt. You know, looking 28 pairs, trying to scalp them all at the same time. I see them where they're flicking from one chart to the next, to the next, to the next. If they can do it, brilliant. I can't. It would blow my brains out. I look at one asset at a time. I study it. I understand exactly what its reading is, whether it's long, short. Then I work out what its capability is it's going to give me. Is it going to give me a big target? Is it going to give me a little target? Then I look at how much this thing is going to cost me. Now this is also in margin, but how far my stop is, because believe it or not, I do know where I'm getting out on every trade, every single one. I'll then break that down by reducing the exposure, and I always go into market, and the squad will know this, and they've seen it, but the public don't see it, and that's why they don't understand it. I go in one-on-one on every trade. So as long as I have a hit rate over 55-60%, And because I work out the costs, I've got nothing to worry about, not a bean. So I'm very calm when I'm at market. In fact, I'm cool as a cucumber. I've agreed to the trade every time I go to it. But I see things that you don't. And why? I've been around these charts a long time, and I know them inside out. In Traders or Scruff Live that we did at the weekend, had a full classroom in, and I took them. I didn't do anything. I've been to loads of trading events where you just get people standing in front of you going, oh yes, I did this and I made a gazillion and this will inspire you to be better, but they don't actually give any value. I didn't do any of that. Told them how to work the mindset out, told them what parts of the chart to respect, told them what the reasons of trading are, showed them what triggers are to get in on long-term and short-term trades, showed them strategies for long-term, short-term trades, broke down a live chart in front of them. There's not many people who do that, stand in front of a big crowd, put a live chart on the screen and then break it down. And here's the kicker. I didn't pick the chart. They did. They took a vote amongst themselves and threw me in at the deep end. And then I did what I always do. I broke it down in front of them, told them what I was looking at, why I was looking at it, how to score the chart. And then if they followed it, because we did the next day, did exactly what I said. Why? It's homework. The problem with this industry is nobody does homework. They look for magic pills. They think there's a X marks the spot. There isn't. If you're a professional, there is no X marks the spot in your job. You have to learn the craft, understand the craft. And if you do, then you don't get it wrong that often, because you're supposed to be good at your job. But if you are getting it wrong, well, ask yourself, are you capable of this job? And that's why people kick off. And for me, publicly wise, I'm going to do snippets and I'll try and help the best I can. But if you really want to know, come in the squad and I'll show you exactly. Unless you're a dickhead, I've got no time for you and I'll kick you straight out. And I'll be absolutely blunt. You know, you come in and your toxic behavior and you're upsetting the apple cart, I'll be the first to tell you to fuck off. Because I will not help people like that. I had people contact me who had a go at me years ago going, oh, lend me your sheet. I won't share it with anybody, promise. There isn't an amount of money on this planet will let me help that guy. And if I do a Trader's Day live, and as soon as I see he's coming, and I know what he looks like, so even if he did get there, I just boot him out. And why? Because I love this job. I really do. It's not a joke to me. And one thing pays me. And that, to me, is priceless. So, Alec, after that little rant, it's chucking down and I wanted to go in the hot tub as well. I haven't had a good scruffy rant for ages. But then again, I think sometimes I might actually... No, I won't. Because the messages are actually vile. I've sat next to people and my phone's pinging and panging going, look at that. And they know exactly what it is. So anyway, cut long story short, that was for Alec, even though I got off on one. It's Winky's fault. She hasn't given me enough coffee.
You've had two while you've been sitting there.
I know, but it's raining, I want to go hot tub.
Well, you can't, and it is raining.
I know, it's horrible, isn't it? Anyway, going to wrap it up now. The moral of the story is very simple. If you want help, be a good person. If you want to understand the charts, put the work in. And if you put the work in, you'll understand what homework is, and homework will always get you through it. Now, I took a loss the other day, and it was a calculated loss. And this one's kind of for a little smiler. I'm going to explain about that loss. It was on pound JPY. I was convinced because of the colossal run up that it had, it would retrace on itself. And I held it for 3 days. Didn't get out of hand, and I never let it go more than 65 pips against me. But after 3 days, it showed no sign of doing anything. And I thought, you know something, I made 2.5 grand or 500 quid this month, and that's documented, and you'll see that in the Vanguard series. I'm just going to kill it off for no other reason than I don't want to hold it into the weekend, and I'm going to be traveling home. Well, today is my last day. I didn't want to do a great deal today, but then I'll be traveling home, and I don't want that thing sitting there while I'm traveling on a Friday. And sometimes you've just got to cut your losses. Didn't get to the stop. I made the decision that I've made the thick end of £2,000 worth of profit. What's 100 quid? So I killed it. I just killed it off. Thought that's the end of it. And that's the reason why I did it. Because just because it hasn't hit your stop or anything, sometimes it's a mindset thing. And my mindset was, I just didn't want to worry about it. And my peace of mind was worth 100 quid. So just another little thought for you. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to enjoy the coffee. Hopefully the rain will stop. I can get in that hot tub. And I'm back to normal. Home on Monday. And I'm going to be home for about 3 or 4 weeks. Hold on, just a sec. When do we go to Spain?
About 3 weeks' time.
Well, I'm going to be home for about 3 weeks. So if you've got any questions or anything, fire them across. Because when I go to Spain, I'm doing nothing. I'm having a complete blackout. I'm leaving my computer at home. I might even leave my phone at home. But up until that point, give a shout. If you're interested in Scruff Live, we're toying with doing one in June. It will be for the Scruffy Squad. So if you want to come, join the squad and you'll get an invite to come to Traders Day Live. Okay, that'll do. I'm going to go enjoy my holiday now. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one. See you on the next one. Oh, I forgot. Just a sec. Yeah, forgot. I'll flick this back on. There you go. That was the continuation. Oh dear. I am fingers and thumbs today. Never mind. There we go. So we'll do that again. Have yourselves a good one. See you on the next one.